Hello everyone! Today we're going to be playing the Arena Cube Draft. Now this is a Phantom Draft event, so we're actually not going to be able to keep any of the cards that we draft. However, for the cost of 4,000 coins, this actually isn't too bad of a deal. Now, if we do get ourselves 5 wins, we get that 4,000 gold back and 3 additional cards. And for 4 wins here, we get 3,000 gold back, and one of our cards will be rare, so I'll put that similar to buying a pack to get that rare card. So let's go ahead and see how we do. Alright, and the draft begins. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and grab ourselves the Gear Hulk. No reason not to grab a Mythic here. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that we're committed to playing in green. This is just one solid card for us here. Let's see what we've got. Now, Tarmogoyf could be good in our colors. Swords is great removal. Let's see. Channeler's not bad. This can also be a very good low-costed card. I think we're going to go ahead and grab our Outcast. So this kind of puts us on a Gruul trajectory, so we'll see how that ends up going, but ideally we're going to be able to find some other valuable creatures and plan on setting up a pretty solid board state. Now the key here is going to be finding solid interaction for our opponents. Again, we can still switch things up, we'll just see what's good. Let's see. Now this is a draft with real people as well, so you do have to kind of wait for them to be able to make their decisions and go ahead and pass the decks our way. Alright. That's not bad. I think Cultivate later could be good for us. I think we'll go ahead and take the Lavamancer. It's gonna give us some late game value. Okay, looks good. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be sticking with this Gruul plan. Alright. Den of the Bugbear could be good, but I like another multicolored creature in our colors. It's also going to help us with having a strong top end. We also do have fight ability here, so that's going to be some strong interaction as well. Alright, now we have a bunch of very powerful options here. Elvish Reclaimer is good, but I prefer the Lovestruck Beast here. It's both a strong turn 1 and turn 3 play. Gives us some options. It's also well overstatted. And it's going to synergize well with our other 1/1s that we already have. Alright, now what's up next? Storm the Festival. I think that's going to be the pick here. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good for us as well, though the Simian Simulacrum could also be good. I do like First Strike. Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright. Now here, there's not too much that we'd like. I think that being said, we're just going to go ahead and grab this, throw that over in the sideboard for now. Alright, so we're looped back around. I think we're going to take the Channeler. Gonna put that in the sideboard. I don't know if that quite belongs in our deck. Mutavault will be a good land, so I like the utility that offers. Let's see. Just take the mono white cards. Alright, grab the tracker. Not too bad. This also gives us some strong interaction on a creature. Plus, as it stands, our curve is looking pretty good. Again, I would like to see some ramp. Could be strong. But as it stands, all of our creatures are uniquely powerful in their own ways. Lots of potential value here. 3 mana 4/4, 3 mana 5/5, potential to be a 4/3. Not too bad. Palladium Mirror actually isn't bad. We'll hold on to that. And we're on to pack 2. Alright, so Glorybringer stands out right away as a very strong choice for us. I think we will take the Glorybringer. It's going to be what's best for our deck. Again, getting some more of those 5-costed creatures that are going to give us some powerful effects. In this case as well, being able to deal 4 damage to one of our opponent's creatures is going to be good. This deck is lacking a little bit on that interaction, but slow and steady, we're going to be getting there. It does look like there's a stockpile of packs over on our opponent's side, so we will eventually be seeing those cards. It's just going to be a matter of time. Alright. So, a couple of different options. Pelt Collector stands out as being a particularly strong choice. Let's see. The Transforming isn't bad, having a 2-costed creature as well. I think we'd still rather Pelt Collector, though. We could also get the Sword. The Sword for ramp. I think we actually take the Sword now, because I think just through that first round, we've kept our opponents at least away from green. We'll see if Pelt Collector comes back to us. Again, that sword is going to help us out. Going to give us extra land drops. And going to let us take a look at some of those top cards of our library. Alright. So, Pillar of Flame. Not too bad, but I think we're gonna rather go Kranka. We're just gonna load up on that middle of our mana curve. We will eventually have to decide what we keep and what we get rid of. But not yet. Again, Kranko's probably not among the better cards we have, but it could be strong if we have an aggro start and can attack with him. Alright. Scavenging Ooze for some graveyard hate could be very strong. Llanowar Visionary, also very good. Now this will also be ramp. I think this is going to be better than Llanowar Visionary almost all the time. Do we care about graveyards? I think we're going to go... No, we're going to get the Scavenging Ooze. Let's get something in the 2-mana slot. Let's be able to deal with our opponent's graveyards. I think that's going to be the best way to do that. Alright, so Crater Hoof, absolutely insane at the top end. Will we ever get to cast Crater Hoof? Maybe. Now, Forceful Cultivator, I think, is going to be the better pick. It's going to give us some ramp. Crater Hoof is hilarious, though. Alright, so Kiora.
Not to brag.
Gonna give us card draw.
Kind of a big deal.
Card draw and some ramp as well. Both being very powerful for us. Alright. I think we just grab a bauble. Throw it over on the side. Nothing wrong with Amisha's bauble. Okay, so Bloodbraid Elf is going to be really powerful in our deck. Especially since we're going to be able to hit a bunch of different things. I think we are going to put Kranka over here for now. Still on the fence about Palladium Mirror, but we'll see. Alright. Just going to grab the Arena. Okay, well, there's a green card that's come back to us, another 2-mana slot in 2. Feels pretty good for the curve. I think if we could find 1 or 2 more expensive threats, that would be pretty strong for us. I don't know, I guess we'll just grab the blue card. Doesn't really matter. And then here... we're gonna take Guardian Idol. Could be ramp that we want to include, we'll see. Let's just take Rankle out of the pool. Grab that guy. Grimflayer. Alright. And here we are, last pack. So, immediately here, Atsushi is going to be really good. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Let's see. That's going to be pretty strong for us. Trying to think. Incubation Druid is also going to be good ramp. I think we'd much rather have that Incubation Druid. That's going to give us access to more mana, let us get out some of our larger threats quicker. Seems like we have a pretty decent early game as well. And we do have an acceptable amount of ramp, so now we could probably focus on some of those bigger creatures. Now, Great Henge is going to be really strong for us. All of the cards in there were good, though. We'll see what green card comes back around to us. Let's see. No, probably not that. We're going to grab him. I don't think he's going to go in our deck, though. Okay, Vorinclex gonna be really strong for us. Let's see, Settle the Wild's also good, but I think we do want those higher costed cards as well. So let's grab ourselves a Vorinclex. Plus having more power on the board is gonna be advantageous for that Great Henge we have here. Not to mention flipping Vorinclex is gonna be pretty great. We do want to have some solid creatures to get off of that second chapter ability for him as well. Right. Now, Nightpack Ambusher could be good. I think we take the land, though. Having a little bit of mana fixing will help us out. Again, this is close to the deck that we want, but we are going to have to do some trimming. Alright. I think we go ahead and take the Hedron Archive. Yeah. We'll hold on to that in the sideboard. We might want to pull it in, but I don't think so. So as it stands with everything here, once we add our lands, there's going to be pretty much one more card that we can actually have in our main board. We have a little bit of playing around to do in that 3 mana cost section, see if we can find something nicer. We'll just grab the Karn. Karn's not bad. Yeah.
I battle for the forces of good.
Can have him in our deck for now. This isn't bad. We'll throw that in the sideboard. Could be beneficial. Okay, now Cityscape Leveler could also be one of those endgame threats that we want. Give us something that's actually worth ramping towards. Ideally, we find another 2 mana spell to replace this. Something else that's in the ramping category would be nice. Gigantha could be good. Yeah, we'll grab Gigantha. Throw this guy in the sideboard. Let's see. Might as well just grab a Spell Queller. These last few picks might not matter as much. as we're kind of getting stuck with things. Okay, Mishra's command. That's fine. Grab you over there. Alright, sideboard for you. Alright, so as it stands, we're close to having a good deck. I kind of don't like this guy here. It's not too bad, but we won't have as many human synergies or wolf synergies, so we'll ditch that for now. Let's see. Now, Gigantha is alright, but we're not going to fulfill the condition, so I think we pull that as well. And then we have what looks like a pretty good deck, nice distribution of lands. We have the Rootbound Crag. We have some ways of dealing with the graveyard. We'll keep in Palladium Mirror. I think that this is going to be the way we want to keep this deck to start. So let's go ahead and start playing some games. Alright, so here we are going first, and notably we have no green lands there, so we're going to mulligan. Now it's the exact opposite problem, but this time we'll keep that. Go ahead and bottom the spell that we won't be able to cast, and we'll start playing. Alright. Go ahead, play this, play Kiora.
I defy gods. Defying you will be easy.
So we do definitely want to find that red land. We have not found it yet. Untap here. Then we'll go ahead and cast the Frillback.
Nature flows with
We could go
vigor.
for the Karn here. But I think Frillback is going to be better. We can draw a counter out of our opponent here. If not, we destroy Bankbuster. Yep. Okay, just slam this out. So that's one we actually get. Now we have some card draw. Of course, we also don't want to lose the clue token just yet. Alright, I think Click's gonna bottom the Karn. That's my best guess, at least. Okay, interesting. So they did not do that. We do have our red land now. Sure.
Hands off.
So I think we just go and slam Karn here. Draw the counter spell before we attack. Yep. Makes it harder for our opponent to interact. Swing for 4. Now, of course, they will be able to kill Kiora here, and that's fine.
Just gonna slip away.
Sure. Gaunty. Gonna go ahead and steal something off of us. Next turn, I think we play out the Maze Crusher. You can actually play out both the Maze Crusher and Scavenging Ooze. They can block if they'd like. It's crew 3 on the Bankbuster, so we don't have to worry about the Bankbuster block. Alright, they do trade Gaunty. That's fine. Alright, so that's good. They'll be able to bounce our creature. Yep. And now they do have a tempo advantage. So let's go ahead, play this out again. And then send our Lovestruck Beast on an adventure. Yep, no attacks, end the turn. Now, next turn we can pay 3 to just kill the duplicator. That's not terrible. Lots of options for us. If we find another land, that might be just what we do. Maze Mind Tome, sure. Alright, so let's go ahead and start by just destroying the duplicator. And that's fine. That gets crewed. Next, we're going to move to combat and swing with the Crusher. Now, there isn't really a reason to give it Vigilance and Menace. They will have to double block if they want to kill it. Or, of course, pay 2 of their own. So we'll do this. I'd imagine they'll do the same. Yep. Then we'll end the turn there. So not too bad for us. We'll be able to play out our Lovestruck Beast next turn. We can use Scavenging Ooze and grow it here. Our opponent is a little light on cards now. We definitely just want to shift that tempo in our favor. Okay. So let's go get rid of Gaunty first. Okay, moving to combat, gonna swing with the Scavenging Ooze. Okay, no blocks, so let's go ahead and get rid of some more creatures. Nice. That's gonna be 5 damage for us. Solid tempo swing. Hold up green mana so we can use Scavenging Ooze again. Lovestruck Beast gets cancelled, that's fine. And we can also use our clue to draw a card as well, which is also a good option for us. Alright, pass. 1 card left in our opponent's hand. Atsushi's a good draw. Let's draw a card here. Or a good steal from us. Now, interestingly enough, I think we can go sword here. And we can equip our sword to the Scavenging Ooze. Go ahead and attack. Let's get rid of the Frillback. Gain some life. Let's go again. I want to gain some more life. Let's get rid of the tracker. Yep. And then we'll see what happens on the... Okay, opponent draws a card. Unfortunately for us, that is going to get rid of our blocks for next turn. So we do need to find something particularly good here, which neither of those things were. Alright, early Incubation Druid is really good. We're on the play. We can keep this. We'll make our way up towards that Glorybringer. Vorinclex will get us some more lands. I like this. Playing up against a Lutri deck, and that's fine. Next turn we'll play out our Incubation Druid. Okay, that's a prowess creature. I mean, we can just go ahead and cast our Forceful Cultivator. Vorinclex is going to grab us Forest, so let's grab a Mountain. Next turn, I think we're going to go Vorinclex. So looking good so far. No blocks here. We'll go ahead and take the 3. We can play the Vorinclex next turn. Maybe we play the Glorybringer. Go ahead and kill that creature. That could be another strong option for us. And I do kind of like that, since we already have our lands. Go Glorybringer. Exert. Go ahead and kill that. We're in a pretty good spot. We might want to flip the Incubation Druid, or not flip, we might want to adapt on that Incubation Druid. Potentially a very strong option for getting access to more mana, so we can cast the Cityscape Leveler. A couple of turns with Cityscape Leveler in play, and we should be able to secure a win. We already have some strong damage on the board. Alright, well, farewell Incubation Druid. Alright, so let's go Vorinclex here. This is looking solid. Grab some forests. This is also going to help us with some better draws. And we've got it, alright. Alright, on the play again, and this actually looks pretty good. We have all the colored lands we need to cast out all of our spells. The only question that we have right off the bat is ordering and what way we want to do that. We're up against another Lutri deck. Okay, Mishra's Bauble, that's fine. Yep. Awesome, we'll play that forest they just saw, and I think we're going to go ahead and start with the tracker. Both of these are definitely going to be better at trading later. So we'll just get this down, see if our opponent has any sort of removal that they want to use on it. See if we can convince them to trade with our lower value creature. And of course, having that clue token is going to be very strong for us. Next turn, we can actually play out Atsushi, which is going to be really good. Nice. Fable. Palladium Mirror is also pretty good. So we have Vigilance here, so we can use this to block. I think we go Palladium Mirror. It's just going to give us the opportunity to play out both of these guys next turn, have a little bit extra ramp. Can definitely see that converting into being a lot more value for us. Okay. Now we might also want to block this Goblin Shaman. No Pillar of Flame. Okay, so we're gonna go Kiora. Untap.
Leviathans, octopuses, serpents. Oh, I love them at one drop. Ripples
And play Make
glows.
Laws. It's gonna draw us a card. Next turn we have Atsushi. With the untapping, if we can keep Kiora, we can also play out Rada. Sure, Bone Crusher. There's probably going to be another spell coming. Yep. That's fine. Honestly, if our opponent's using all of their resources to 2-for-1 our creatures, that's pretty good for us. We also do have that damage advantage on them. Let's go Atsushi here. We'll draw a card. See what we get. Okay, Karn. Could be strong for us.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
And there's Rada. Getting Karn out next turn could be very fun. Again, gives us the potential to grab some more cards out of our library. We can also make some constructs, so we will have blockers. Yep, 2 of those, that's fine. Yep, we'll block with that sushi. If our opponent kills that sushi, that's fine. Block with a creature that has a death trigger. Nice. Now, Brazen Borrower might be a problem. I want to exile the top 2. This is going to give us some options. Alright, Bloodbraid and Cityscape Leveler. Now we can actually get out the Cityscape Leveler next turn with Kiora. Could be strong. Bloodbraid is also very powerful for us, though. We'll have to make a decision on what we want to do. I think we're gonna go the Bloodbraid route. Actually, no, our opponent just used Brazen Borrower. So let's go ahead and just get out a Cityscape Leveler.
Love to make a splash.
Go ahead, get rid of the Reflection. Draw a card. Farewell to Bloodbraid, but we have a lot of other powerful options in our hand. Next turn, land Forceful Cultivator could be good. We get Rada back out onto the battlefield as well. If our opponent can't deal with this Cityscape Leveler, we are going to be able to close out the game very quickly. Alright, well, they did in fact deal with that quite promptly. Yep, more treasures for them, that's fine. Now, of course, we can bring Cityscape Leveler back. So we go Forceful Cultivator here first, then we play Vorinclex. Vorinclex gets us Forest, so we grab the Mountain. Vorinclex. And I was surprised to see a lack of counter magic out of our opponent. Seems like they have mostly burn spells. There we go. First counter spell. Then we'll go ahead and end the turn there. Unearthing the Cityscape, I think we're going to save that for after our opponent gets a slightly more concerning threat on the board. I, of course, also do want to be able to pressure lethal with this Leveler. Make our opponent think about what they're doing. The fact that it's unearthed, though, is going to be strong, so we can get around some counter spells by doing that. Yep. And so we've got a land. Let's go Rada. Let's go Karn. Karn, I think we're going to minus on the Karn. Nope. Never mind, that's a negate. So now that we have no Karn, there's no issue with drawing a card. We find a Glorybringer. And we'll just end the turn here. My best guess is we're going to see Bone Crusher swing at Kiora. I think that would be ideal for us. Because then with Cityscape Leveler, next turn we are putting enough pressure on our opponent to be able to close out the game here. Alright. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't swing unless they had something they could do, so we'll just double block here. They get their pick of what they kill. If they could kill everything the whole time, then, you know, that's what it was. Alright, well, Cityscape Leveler. Draw a card. Let's go ahead and move to combat. Swing like so. We're gonna kill the Djinn. Now, of course, there aren't really good blocks here for our opponent. If they go ahead and block here, that's 10. If they block here, we also have it, so yeah. Good game. Alright, so we have our opponent going first, but this is actually a pretty good starting hand. We'll go ahead and keep. I want to find one more green land for Forceful Cultivator with that reduced cost, but right off the bat we can start with the Lavamancer, play Scavenging Ooze, turn 2. Yeah, looking pretty good. Again, I would really love to draw into a forest here. Perfect. Let's play out the Scavenging Ooze. Alright. So, opponent's on a Simic deck of some sort. No blocks. We'll go ahead and let this happen. Yep. Terramander. Okay, so we did draw another green land, so let's just play out the Frillback. Having a blocker is going to be good for us. We won't be able to pay that additional cost, but that's fine. Again, our opponent's very low on cards, so if we do manage to stabilize, we're going to be in a much better position. Either way, Frillback can block their pack leader, so that's going to be strong. We can also go ahead and block Pelt Collector. They don't have enough to adapt their Salamander either, so things are looking pretty good for us. I'm especially not too envious of our opponent once we manage to get enough mana for Kaglo and Yudaro or the Cityscape Leveler. Sure, Impulse. No attacks. So we'll see what our opponent's up to. Next turn, I think we're going the Forceful Cultivator route. That is, of course, unless we draw something better. Bloodbraid Elf would be really good for us. I would like that. Let's see. So our opponents... Yep. Thinking maybe they're gonna try and kill one of our creatures. Yep, they don't like the Scavenging Ooze. That's fine. Interesting. So we just block that. That's always going to be a good trade for us. So let's do this. Let's go Forceful Cultivator. We're going to get our second red land. And now we can also exile both of those from our graveyard to deal 2 damage to any target. I am going to wait, though, and hold up the Lavamancer's ability. Toski, nice. Alright, how do I want to do this? I think we just kill the Pelt Collector here. So we'll trade like that. And then we'll do this. Well, we'll wait till after combat. There we go. Opponent draws a card. And we'll go ahead and do that. 2 damage here. Say goodbye to those guys. They served us well. No more Pelt Collector for our opponent. I think we want Trample and Haste here. Yeah, no need to fight. We'll just start dealing damage. Opponent blocks with Toski. That's fine. We'll take 6. And of course, we'll be able to block the Toski with the Cultivator. Next turn, we'll get out our Lovestruck Beast. Things are going to be getting much more difficult for our opponent. We have a very powerful board state here. Yep, just going to block like this. Keeping that Forceful Cultivator back to continually block Toski. Explore. Nice. Yep. Oh, interesting. So our opponent has white in their deck as well. That could be why they are holding on to so many cards. If that's the case, and it's been this long without them drawing a white land, that puts us in a really good spot. Alright, Glorybringer. I think that's going to be the play here. We'll go ahead and exert the Glorybringer, and we've got it. Alright, opponent goes first this time, but I do kind of like this. We've got Kiora, we have Bloodbraid, Palladium Mirror is going to be strong ramp for us as well. Let's go ahead and keep this. Alright, so start with the Forest. Okay. Gonna boast, make another token, that's fine. Go ahead and pass the turn. Things are looking pretty good. Faithless Looting is fine. They just get rid of some land, so it looks like they were a little flooded. Likely gonna boast again. I think next turn we play out the Palladium Mirror. No, the holding up 2 mana. Interesting. Let's go Palladium Mirror. Opponent might have a way to interact with it, but it's gotta feel pretty bad killing Palladium Mirror. If they don't, we've got Kagla and Yadaro for next turn. Maul the Skyclaves, sure. Yeah, so we'll just fight that and kill it. So here's where we're going to start turning things around for us. Go ahead and play that out. Yep. Looking good. So yeah, from here on out, we're going to be able to start casting some big things. We're getting close to the Cityscape Leveler. Kiora Bloodbraid might be the play for next turn. Okay, flashback, prowess. I mean, this looks good. They can't attack into Kogla. Nice. Alright, so let's go Kiora. Bloodbraid. And we can untap for the Outcast if we want to. Yeah, sure. Free tracker. Let's go ahead, untap.
Let's get moving.
Which one of these do we prefer? We're gonna go for the Lavamancer. And we'll just swing in for 10. Get 3, looking pretty good. Now we can cast Cityscape Leveler next turn, depending on what they target with Glorybringer. If they decide to. Yep. Interesting, they hit the tracker, okay. That's not at all what I expected. Let's go ahead, untap.
Nature flows with vigor.
Yep, gonna do it like this. We'll go ahead, destroy the Maul here. Draw a card. Play our Outcast, that's gonna give us a big dragon. And we'll move to combat. Swing in for 10. We get the block. Again, Glorybringer doesn't untap here, but we will be able to destroy it with Cityscape Leveler. Of course, we do also now have our 6 lands for the Dragon Master Outcast. So that's going to be insane. We're going to get to draw essentially 2 cards because of this. Opponent's going to have to block the Kogla. And if we swing out with everything, it should be lethal anyways. Yeah, drawing an extra card. Alright, move to combat. We're just gonna swing out, destroy that. And we've got it. Alright, so opponent's going first. I don't really like this starting hand, so we are going to take the mulligan. Now it is worth noting, though, we are already at 4 wins, so 4 wins, 1 loss. We're in a great spot in terms of breaking even on our value for entering. So if you guys were to play and got to this point as well, I'd consider that a success. Now this is a much better starting hand. Let's go ahead and bottom the Karn. Nice. Opponent starts with Once Upon a Time. This will give us a slightly better understanding of what they're playing, but there's at least green in their deck, so maybe we're going to see some equally large threats out of our opponent. Oh nice, they have the tracker, just like us. Okay, we're going to start with a forest as well. Okay, so it's a Celestia deck. That's fine. Let's play the Scavenging Ooze. Yep. Fortunately for us, we don't really plan on casting any spells during our opponent's turn, so Voice of Resurgence is just going to be that. Next turn, we've got the Maze Crusher. Could be quite powerful. Interesting. I think we start by just swinging here. Yeah, because that's going to be free damage. Then we'll play the Maze Crusher. So our opponent wants to equip the sword. Now we can use the Frillback next turn to destroy that sword. That could be really powerful for us. Does our opponent want to risk it and go for the trade? Oh, that's right. It does have protection from red. There goes that. Pelt Collector, sure. Go green. We're gonna go with the Tranquil Throwback here. We are gonna pay. Destroy the sword. Swing out for 4. Good. We do have a tempo advantage here. Next turn we have the Gear Hulk. I think we just spread these +1/+1 counters as evenly as we can, and that should do exactly what we need it to. Opponent's thinking about what they want to do here. Okay. The tracker, that's fine. Okay, let's go Mountain, Gear Hulk. Honestly, I think we just put them all here. And see if our opponent wants to sacrifice their whole board. Or if they just want to chump block. Either way, I'm okay with their decision. They're either trading their entire board to deal with that one creature, or we're getting in a ton of damage. My guess is... Alright, yeah. Goodbye to our opponent's board. That's fine by me. Opponent gets a 1/1. We still have a 4/4 trample and a 3/3. Now, I do want to be a little careful because our opponent does have way more cards in hand than us, so they will be able to eventually outvalue us. That being said, I don't think they're going to be able to flip it this turn. Yeah. Not too bad. So I do think we are going to be able to get our damage through. Oh, nope. Dauntless Guard, most likely on the Ranger. No, it's on the Elemental. Interesting. Am I okay trading the Frillback for the Bodyguard? I think so. So let's just move to combat. And we'll swing out. Opponent can block here, sacrifice, keep it alive. Interesting, just gonna trade there. Take 4. Let's go Incubation Druid. We have the potential to adapt that, as well as the Forceful Cultivator here. We're gonna get another green land. So we are top decking at this point, so we are in a very draw-dependent position. But we do have double our opponent's life. We have potential for a unique combat trick with Incubation Druid's ability. We do have to be cautious of that elemental, making sure it doesn't grow too far out of control. Okay, Simian Simulacrum's pretty good. Gonna put those both on the elemental, is my guess. Yep. Maybe that's simply to dissuade the attack. We'll see if they attack themselves. It would be best for us if they did attack with that elemental. Thinking about it. Maybe they're going to play on another creature first. We will see. I think finding Cityscape Leveler would also be really good for us. Interesting. So now our opponent can attack, but they shouldn't. Yeah, I would trade the Cultivator for the Bodyguard. That's gonna decrease that by 1 power anyway. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and play out our Cityscape Leveler. Hit that. Farewell, Threatening Token. So things are gonna get pretty good for us pretty fast. Our opponent can cast Michaelis for a bunch. Cityscape Leveler will deal with that almost immediately. And there's only one other card in their hand that could be something to deal with the Leveler. And it does. How unfortunate. Now we are gonna want to wait for our opponent to cast Michaelis to then bring out our Cityscape Leveler again. Yep. Perfect, so we will be able to deal with Michaelis. And force blocks. Next turn's gonna be really strong for us. Let's go Cityscape Leveler. Unearth, move to combat, swing with the Leveler, kill Michaelis. They'll have to block with at least one of those. Yep. We've got our opponent at 1. Alright, so lots of vigilance out of our opponent. We just need a way to deal 1 damage. I know we have it. We have multiple ways of dealing 1 damage. Now, if we do attack with our Incubation Druid next turn, that would clear our opponent's board if they want to trade everything. If they mess up, we could have an advantage there. I think I don't mind taking that approach unless we draw something better. Yeah, with the forest draw, we're just going to go for this. Move straight to combat. See if our opponent lets us draw a card. Again, we have ways of dealing damage to our opponent, so I'm not too scared. Opponent's only threatening 6 damage. So we'll just swing, move to blockers. Yep, reading that. So they have to block it with something. They just have to choose whether or not it's both. I'd be happy if this was the only blocker. There we go. Yep. That is the best block for our opponent. We do kill Lauren, though, which is going to buy us some extra turns. Yep, Lauren first. Let's go ahead and adapt. Yep. And we'll just play at the land. Opponent draws a card. Only 1 damage away, so we do have to find something soon. Kagla and Yadara would be really good for us. Can get that haste and trample. Alright. Rod is not terrible. We know we're drawing Vorinclex next turn. Alright. Unfortunately for us, our opponent does have 8 damage outside of their best blockers, and they'll be able to put another +1/+1 counter, so this is lethal if they swing out. Let's just make sure they actually do that. If they swing for just 8, we will be able to survive. Again, nope, that's all of them. We'll activate our ability, block the biggest one, and then move on to the next game. Alright, we've got our opponent going first. But I kind of like the starting hand, so we'll go ahead and keep it. Surprise them with the Mutavault. They'll have no idea what we're playing. I guess they could assume we have some sort of aggro deck, starting with Play with Fire, so they have an aggro deck for sure. They'll go ahead and scry. Bloodbraid is really good to have in hand here. I think we're going to prioritize getting our mirror out, since we might be able to cheat out the Kagla and Yadaro faster, or even get our Vorinclex out quickly. Okay, red for the Grim Lavamancer. End the turn there. Our opponent's light on lands, perhaps. I think they would have just drawn that. Legion Warboss is good, but not great. Okay. Go green, Palladium Mirror. No attack. Sure. So Mutavault hurts us now. That's fine. Do they attack? They do not. Okay. So we'll just kill one of the Goblin tokens. That's fine. Let's see, what do I want to do? I think Bloodbraid Elf is going to be the play. Perfect. Let's just go ahead and play out our Lovestruck Beast. That's pretty good for us. No attacks. We'll just take the 2 damage for now. I'd like to keep that land. Next turn, I think we go for Vorinclex. If we can, that is. Nice. So we'll block like this. Block there. Block there. Interesting. I would have thought our opponent had some other form of interaction there. But it seems like we're going to get to keep everything with best blocks. Okay, sure. Hasty Creature post-combat is also a choice. Let's go Kiora.
I'll show you Drywalker something truly spectacular.
And then we'll draw a card. See what we get. That's not bad, because we can kill Bomat Carrier there. I think we'll just untap our Palladium Mirror.
One drop.
And then we'll have
and grows.
options to buff this guy during blocks if we want to. Do I want to swing here? I think I do. We'll swing for 5. Let's start putting pressure on our opponent. Okay, cool. We get the preemptive block. End the turn. Now we can sacrifice that, I think. We've done plenty of ramping. We have Kagla and Yadaro for next turn. That's going to be able to go ahead and kill that Tyrant. So we just need our opponent not to have access to 6 damage this turn. They do go for our face, which is slightly disconcerting. Okay. Maybe they have removal? Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Got that
That's fine.
sinking
Opponent just
feeling
wipes the
again.
board. So, let's go ahead, tap, untap.
Time to ebb from
We do
battle.
lose Kiora,
The ocean surges.
but we've got our
like waves.
Vorinclex. Vorinclex is going to find us 2 lands, which we'll be able to use to get up to Kogla and Yudaro. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Sword of Forge and Frontier, giving proc red, is going to also be really strong for us. Let's go ahead, play the sword. Equip the sword. Okay. Swing for 8. Exile the top 2. Get another land drop. End the turn. So Kogla and Yudaro for next turn is going to be big. Swift Spear could be a problem if they have the Prowess trigger, which they don't. So we're just going to play Kogla and Yudaro. We're going to give it Trample and Haste. And see if they have a way to deal 7 damage to it or 5 damage to our face. Nope, we've got it. Alright. Alright, so now we're on the play, and this is not really an opening hand I want to keep. But the good news is we have broken even at this point. Now this we will keep. We have to choose between the Dragon Master Outcast and the Grim Lavamancer. I think the Lavamancer is going to be better, just because it's going to be effective earlier. But yeah, now that we've broken even, all of this is just for extra wins. We've essentially paid nothing to get 2 rare cards. And something else. We'll see when we end up getting our prizes at the end of all of this. Scavenging Ooze here. No attacks. Next turn, I think we go Mutavault and the Sword. Let's see. Yep. This Mutavault and the Sword. Maybe there's a counterspell, maybe there's not. Alright. Now, will there be a combat trick? I'm not sure. We're gonna attack with the Scavenging Ooze anyway. Nope, just gonna draw a card. Yep. And we get that early damage. First Blood. Okay, Narset, that's fine.
Focus.
We don't really have card draw.
And put thoughtfulness before action.
See what our opponent gets, though. Swords to Plowshares, sure. It's actually not great on either of our creatures. So I think next turn we just go and start equipping this. Let's see. Let's go ahead, equip that here. Mutavault will become a creature. And we'll move to combat. And honestly, do I even care about the Narset? I care a little bit about the Narset. I think we'll swing like this. Well, that will disincentivize all blocks. Yeah. No, that's fine. We'll get the Narset down to 1. No more looking for spells for them. Okay, Narset's just gone. That's fine.
I was not prepared for this.
So we're just going to try and land the pressure. Of course, our opponent does have Swords to Plowshares, but they're not going to want to use that. Okay, so it's an Esper deck. That makes much more sense. Maybe they have a counterspell? Who knows? Let's go Mutavault. We'll be able to play out the Incubation Druid in second main phase. Or we're just going to swing out. We'll see what happens. Hopefully our opponent lets us connect with the Lavamancer. Lets us exile the top 2. But we'll see. Sure, swords on the Meta Vault. Not too bad. Alright, we do get our damage, so let's see what we exile with the sword. Alright, there's another land, and we can play out the Crusher. So that was really good value for us. Gonna do the same thing again next turn, just keep on swinging. See? I don't know what our opponent's really thinking about here, but let's move to combat. Swing out. Now we can pay to boost the Crusher. Sure. Now notably, Grim Lavamancer has protection from red right now, so he has to block the Scavenging Ooze, or has to try and trade with Miglaws. Best case scenario, our opponent tries to trade. But no, they're smart. They block the Scavenging Ooze. Let's see what we get off the top. We'll lose the Scavenging Ooze here, that's fine. We have our opponent down at 4. Cityscape Leveler, eh? Let's see. Let's go ahead and play out Palladium Mirror. And the Incubation Druid. Now, let's see. Bit of a misplay on our part there. We could have paid 4 to deal that extra 4 damage with Miglaws. That being said, our opponent did have open mana up, so they may have had a removal spell to deal with that. Okay, Eternal Wanderer.
For the entire multiverse. My blade has no equal.
Incubation Druid. Sure. Now, there's a really funny thing about what our opponent has just done. And that's, we have this card in our hand. So we're just gonna go ahead, play that, trample in haste, swing for 7. Looking good. Opponent down to 1 health. Next turn, we can equip our sword. Distribute that a little bit nicer. We'll see. They can make a samurai. I think the better option's to exile something and play a blocker. Yep, they make the samurai.
I brought backup.
Alright. Well, I think we just attack out here. See what our opponent does. Settle the wreckage. Sure. We'll just grab 1 of each. Play the tracker. We'll equip the sword to it. Okay. It's another samurai. Teferi.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. Let's take it back.
Third from the top, sure. We are gonna draw a card here. We find Vorinclex. Okay. Equip.
Let's skip to the good part.
Okay, yeah.
We can win this together.
Those are adequate blockers for Vorinclex. Hermit, yeah. I think we just flipped the Vorinclex, though. Or we play out the Glorybringer. That feels like the correct choice. No counterspell. No counterspell. Okay, move to combat. We're not even going to exert this, we'll just attack normally. Let's see if we've got it. Unfortunate. Well, let's go throwback. We'll pay. Gain some life.
You know what? I'm not.
Alright, Elspeth's gonna hit Vorinclex. That's gone till next turn.
Oh,
Opponent has 5 health. Okay. We'll go ahead and play that. Equip. End the turn. Hope our opponent ignores what it does. Go ahead, destroy Elspeth. Exile our opponent's graveyard, gain 4 life.
No
Okay.
time for a break.
Another Planeswalker.
Hope you're ready for some mind games. Now, what do we have here?
We can still find something to get us out of here, but it is going to be much more difficult. Throwback destroyed. Opponent's down to 3.
I bought us some time.
And that's the game. Alright, so 5 wins, not too bad. That's going to be good enough to break even. Let's go ahead and take a look at the prizes. So, yep, there's the gold we played to start. As well as 2 rare cards and an uncommon. So yeah, if you guys are interested in playing Draft, or seeing more of me playing Draft, let me know in a comment down below. I'd highly recommend trying out this rather cheap cube draft just to kind of get a handle on it, and play with some fun cards and get yourself a couple of rares for yourself. Alright, I'll see you all next time.